Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Baseball, a common everyday sport? No way, man. Eerie, weirdy doings all around as major leaguers display peculiar behavior, and one is just a little more eccentric than the next. An offbeat story in Chicago celebrates the spirit of an extraordinary man as it recalls a most unusual major leaguer of the past. Fantastic occurrences in Minnesota, where the newfangled Twins deviate from past practice as they hold steady on top of the West. An outlandish theory seeks to explain peculiar happenings at the ballpark these days. So if anything seems quirky or a bit off the wall, don't be alarmed. It's just typical This Week in Baseball. Now in our second decade. American League West. It's an about-face in Minnesota. The Twins have been the picture of success. 10 wins in 11 games and best in the West.
Oh, great play by Newman. Whoa.
There she goes! Minnesota wins it here tonight in a wild and woolly one, 8-7.
Great stop by Gagne, who goes for Newman.
And that's a doubleheader sweep of the Chicago White Sox.
Grand slam for Laudner.
A sweet medley for manager Tom Kelly and company, who ended up 21 games out of first last year, but now they're advertising a whole new campaign.
We like to run a little bit more if we can, and of course it all comes back to pitching. If your pitcher can hold them for 3 or 4 innings to give your offense a chance to get going, then we like to incorporate some running if we can.
Runner moving, line drive, too tall for Scott Fletcher. Odobe charges, and the Twins will have runners at first and third. They're going to send him. Game is over.
Some may have wondered if knuckleballer Joe Niekro was over the hill when traded from the Yankees, but the 42-year-old won his first 2 games and didn't seem to miss the glamour of New York.
It's a club that's playing way up north and doesn't get too much recognition, and I think if it was in a city where the media is a little more magnified than it is in Minneapolis, and they'd get more print. But, you know, we can win quietly. We don't mind.
With our lineup we have, we just try to go out there and get runners on base, because anyone 1 through 9 is going to drive in a lot of runs this year, and we need to get some runs to help our pitchers out.
Rookie Gene Larkin's been a huge help. A graduate of Columbia University, he broke all school records that had been set by a fellow alumnus and New Yorker, Yankee Hall of Famer Lou Gehrig.
I grew up a big Yankee fan, but, you know, when I went to college, I just wanted to be drafted by any team, and the Twins gave me the opportunity, so I just want to continue playing for them and help them to win.
Larkin's already living up to top billing and showing plenty of pop, too. Witness this 10th inning game winner.
Jackson unleashes the throw. It's on the money, but he's safe at home, and the Twins win.
Contenders once again, the Twins are twisting and shouting the night away under the dome. Now, folks, a secret investigation by Warner Fussell. I'm going to rest a while. So, Warner, open the file.
Mel, 1987 thus far has been the year of the home run. Homers and more homers have been blasted by big guys, little guys, the well-known, the unknown, and even pitchers. The reason? Well, most experts say it's the lively ball. But is it really? Is it the lively ball, or is it something else? That's not the ball's fault. A special investigation was conducted at the Hall of Physics at New York University. Conducting the investigation, NYU physicist Dr. Richard Brandt, a specialist in particle theory.
I've investigated the recurrent claims that the baseballs are livelier this year, and I find them to be groundless. But I have noticed a problem with the gloves. Let's cut one of them open. Due to the fact that Americans are eating less red meat, fewer cows are being produced, and consequently, there's a shortage of high-quality leather for glove making. I therefore suspect that the manufacturers are introducing artificial ingredients into the glove manufacturing process. Just as I suspected, the artificial element is Teflon. 1 micron of Teflon in the glove would make it impossible for a fielder to hold on to a well-hit fly ball. Everybody knows nothing sticks to Teflon.
The Teflon glove was designed in 1977, but was used only once by Pat Kelly. The ball didn't stick, and neither did Kelly in the outfield. His duties were soon limited to pinch hitting and DHing. Then last season in the Championship Series and World Series, things really got out of hand. This year, the lively glove, the Teflon glove, has become even more prevalent. You can even hear it. The result, home runs in record numbers. The only way to govern the current home run pace is to ban the lively glove. The Cincinnati Reds have already ordered their outfielders not to use the Teflon glove. And so far, it's catching on. The game of bats and balls and gloves may be finally returning to normal. But Mel, whenever home runs are in the air, you can expect the unexpected.
You got that right, Warner. How about that? The lively glove, but even more so, a lively imagination. All baseball feels deeply the loss of Dick Howser. One of baseball's most respected managers, Dick died of cancer at the age of 51. You know, he proved that nice guys can finish first. 3 division titles and a world championship.
I never panicked when I played, and I was an average player. I didn't panic as a coach, and I'll never panic. Because I know if you've got good players, why panic? And if things don't go right, just say, it doesn't go right. Somebody earlier said about you're a hero, you're a goat at one time, and then an hour hero. A goat is pretty strong. I said out there, I don't own a farm. You know, to me, and I don't want to be a hero. I'd like to be somewhere in between.
So long, Dick. We're really gonna miss you. Time for this week's quiz, brought to you by the 1988 Chevy full-size pickup. From the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy trucks. How about that Detroit shortstop, Alan Trammell? He's been mighty slick with a stick. A 21-game hitting streak, longest in the majors this season. Also for Trammell, 76 hits and a league-leading .360 average. Now, can you name the shortstop with the most hits in one season? Use all of North America for this one. National League East, a Philadelphia story in 2 parts. Mike Schmidt, the Phillies slugger supreme, recently came back from an injury full of vim and vigor in Montreal.
Hit to deep left center field. Way back goes Candell. Out of here, home run.
That, as it turned out, was just a warm-up for Schmidt, who now had career hit number 1,999 and counting.
There's a ball hit deep to left field. Raines doesn't even move. How about that for career hit number 2,000 for Schmitty?
So far, 4 RBIs and home run number 2 for the slugger. The Expos hoped that Schmidt was through for the day. But in the 7th inning, he got that home run feeling again.
Goodbye. That's well hit. Watch that, baby. The 3rd home run of the game for Michael Jack Schmidt.
Also home run number 511, tying Mel Ott for 13th on the all-time list. After that long ball spree, Schmidt sat out the rest of the game in favor of Rick Shue, who opted for a little short ball in contributing to the victory. Of course, there's more to this Philadelphia story than Michael Jack. Next day in Chicago, Steve Bedrosian inflicted his fair share of hurt on the Cubs. Helping to hand Chicago its 5th straight loss, Bedrock set a National League record by posting his 9th save in 9 games. What's more, during that stretch, Bedrock allowed just 1 run. With 16 saves all told, he looks well on the way to eclipsing his season high total of 29. Now, let's get on the ball with the story based on the life and times of deaf ball player Dummy Hoy. Welcome to Dummy Hoy Night at Comiskey Park. On hand were cast members from a local play about the one-time deaf major leaguer who played part of his career in Chicago. Joining the tribute, the cast presented the national anthem in both sign and song.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming.
The play, entitled The Signal Season of Dummy Hoy, tells the story of William Ellsworth Hoy, a deaf turn-of-the-century ball player who excelled in the majors for 14 years, despite his handicap. It's now 1886. Dummy Hoy has joined his first pro team in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
You gotta look at him when you're talking to him. He can't hear.
The play in general is a play about people. It is both a play about a deaf man entering a hearing world, as well as a play about hearing people reacting to the entry of a deaf man into their world. Our play uses baseball as a vehicle. One can label the play as a baseball play, but we prefer it to be labeled as a play about people and the barriers that exist between people communicating.
Yeah, we don't need another dummy on this night. That dummy over here.
Right, his name is William.
Well, whatever his name is, get him over.
Dean Canavino, who plays the role of Hoy, is deaf, and he didn't like the nickname Dummy.
At first, I thought, oh, it was rather insulting. But later, I grew into the character, and I think I really understand why William accepted the name of Dummy. It's his name. It's not an insult after he was successful. If he was not successful, at that point, it would be an insult.
Hoy communicated through the use of gestures, a practice that may have given rise to umpire signals.
We don't know for sure where they came from. A number of ball players who are well respected, Sam Crawford for one, is quoted as saying that William Hoy came up with the signals. Perhaps it's not that important to know whether Dummy Hoy actually came up with the signals. I think it's important enough to know that he was a fine ball player. He was a remarkable human being who had a handicap that could have prevented him from ever getting into baseball at all. And the fact that he was able to turn it around and become such a good ball player is quite remarkable.
Dummy Hoy, profoundly deaf, profoundly gifted. He died in 1961. He was 99. Back to the present, and this week in baseball's Twib Notes from around the National League. For manager Larry Boa and the Padres, it's the summer of discontent. 20 wins in 66 games. But when San Diego swept 3 from the Giants, it marked the first time that the Padres had won 3 straight. In fact, they also won their next 2. They may not have looked like champs, but win they finally did. Houston's Mike Scott won the Cy Young Award last season with the most strikeouts in the majors. Recently, in shutting out the Reds, he posted a career-high 14 strikeouts. Of course, Scott's been raising all kinds of eyebrows lately, what with 34 strikeouts in 3 games. But Scott's not the only Astro racking up the Ks. Reliever Dave Smith came on against the Reds and struck out the side to cap off a 4-0 win. Next night, Smith picked up save number 13, running his strikeout total to 38 and scoreless inning streak to 26 2/3. Not a single run allowed all season. Things had been swell for Gene Michael and the Cubs, contending for first place, but Ryne Sandberg sprained his ankle in St. Louis, and suddenly the Cubs were without a bat that had already produced 11 homers and 33 RBIs. Also, subtract shortstop Sean Dunston, out with a fractured finger, creating a double disaster. Now, let's break out with the answer to this week's quiz. Toronto's Tony Fernandez is one of 8 starting shortstops from the Dominican Republic now in the majors. Last season, besides hitting .310, Tony collected 213 hits, most ever by a shortstop in one season. And the 24-year-old switch hitter has not missed a single game since September 1984. How about that? Signs of trouble. Hey, that's jarring. Uh-oh, they're just sparring. But imagine, if you will, something different for a change. The unusual, the unexpected, even the strange. Like Dan Gladden, who had a great notion, but Kevin Seitzer put his own in motion.
He bunts a curveball, far coming off the mound. They're going to let it go, and it's going to drop dead and fair. No, you can't blow it foul. That's a good idea, but it doesn't work. We saw Lenny Randall try to do that out in Seattle a few years ago, and they didn't allow it. It's a good idea, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, give Seitzer credit for trying. He's thinking.
What could be on Storm Davis's mind, facing half-brother Glenn Davis for the very first time? Glenn got a walk on ball 4, next got more than he bargained for. But now, well, see here, another Padre out of cheer? Marvell Wynn. He seemed all right, took ball 4, but what a fright. A sudden case of back malaise, disabled for 15 days. Howard Johnson, a swing in vain as he winds up on the terrain. But taking strike 3 proves the real misery. Darrell Evans used his clout to hit this rare one well out.
Fly ball hit well toward left center field, way back. Rice lets it go by. It's gone, a home run.
Of Darrell's 94 homers in Detroit altogether, that was the first to left field ever. Mike Young homered in inning 10. Came the 12th, but he tried not again. Bunt was on his mind for sure, but that obviously was not the cure. For the count went to 0-2. Time to get a different cue. So thinking back to inning 10, he took a whack just like then.
Well hit toward right. Over is Devon White, and this one is over. Baltimore wins it 8-7.
All that proves one thing is true. If you get in a fix, another plan may do. Vince Coleman's been off on his merry way, much to the Phillies' utter dismay. 3 steals in 1 game, hence to make it 41 straight at the Phillies' expense. Then late in the game, Coleman tried for number 4, but this time the Phillies refused anymore. To home we forbid, and caught him they did. Keith Hernandez shaved his mustache, and then at the plate had a real bash.
I mean, it is high and deep, into the wind, in right field and gone. Another home run for Keith Hernandez.
He's been on a tear since his upper lip went bare. 10 hits in 6 games. Oh, what a change. Making a similar move, Jerry Royce did not improve. Mustache or no, he lost 5 straight, then released by the Reds to a sad fate. And what of the Orioles? In a slump so severe, they donned old shirts not worn in many a year. But better still, a home run in a pinch, and as it turned out, was hardly a cinch. But fair it went on to victory. Goodbye, 10 straight losses, finally. 'Tis Bob Horner in a foreign land with the Yakult Swallows of Japan. Hitting homers overseas sounds like this in Japanese.
ツーアウトながらランナー2人を置いてホーナー。杉本のわずかに浮いた変化球を叩きまして、左中間スタンドへ30打席ぶりのスリーランホームラン。
Thus ends the refrain. Promise you, never again. Time for This Week in Baseball's Flashback, brought to you by Gatorade. Thirst Aid for that deep down body thirst. 1961. Willie Mays en route to a 40 home run season. On April 30th in Milwaukee, he leads the Giants to an easy victory with 3 home runs. But this day, Mays has something more in store.
The 2-0 delivery, and Mays sends another one. Tell it, bye-bye, baby. Aaron doesn't even move. It's going far up into the center field bleachers. Willie Mays has tied a record, 4 home runs in a game. County Stadium is going mad.
4 home runs was something that I very well will achieve in baseball, because as only maybe 8 or 9 guys have did that, and there are only 2 active players now, Adcock and Hodges, but I'm so happy that I could be a member of a club like that it's not even funny.
And I had a chance to hit the 5th one. I was on deck when Davenport flied out for my 6th time up. I came up 5 times. The The third time I was up, I hit a ball up against the fence, and Aaron caught. He was playing center field. He caught that one. But I think the feeling is going around the bases 4 times and saying, man, I hit 4 home runs. It's such a feeling that you can't explain.
Mays' collection of greatest hits would include 660 homers, 2 MVPs, and Hall of Fame distinction for a man who is a legend while still in the game.
Got an arm like DiMaggio, runs like Cobb. Could this be Speaker back on the job? Makes lippy-dippy with his magical plays. Say hey, Willie Mays.
He runs like a rabbit, sly as a fox. Got home run habits in the batters box. He belt that ball and say hey. It's over the fence and far away.
Say hey! Say who? Say Willie. Say hey. Say who? Swinging at the plate. Say hey. Say who? Say Willie. That giant kid is great. That giant kid is great.
A fitting tribute to a player who embodied the soul and spirit of the game. That's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.